You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story. Like and subscribe for more.
Hey Homeworthy, welcome to my Maryland home. I'm so excited you're here. My name is Nedra and I cannot wait to show you around. Come on in. Hi, my name is Nedra Davis and we're here in my 1991 colonial home in Bowie, Maryland. I purchased this home about 3 years ago now, and when I moved in, it actually was in like really great shape. The previous owners had basically kind of left me a blank slate, and I was able to come in over the next couple of years and just kind of make it my own and adding some really unique details that speak to my style and speak to the way that my family and I live in our home. And as far as just learning more about me, I am a marketing manager by day and a mom of 2 very active teenagers who are in football and competitive cheerleading. And in my free time, I love all things kind of like interior design and sprucing up my home and making it mine. I have a puppy named Tucci who became a part of our family at the start of the pandemic. So he's a pandemic puppy. He is used to everybody being home. He is super clingy. And it was a decision that if I look back on it, I would have thought harder on it. But he is such a valuable part of our family now. And he's wild and crazy and fun and cuddly. And can't imagine life without him now. Although he has, he's still in the puppy phase. He's still biting on things that he shouldn't bite on, but it's nothing that we can't replace. And we're just really happy to have him as part of our family. So we are in the entryway of my home, and I love all the spaces in my home, but when I walked in, when I was about to purchase this, it really spoke to me because it's so big and filled with light and has an opportunity for us to come in, drop our bags, be able to kind of take a breath and then move into the rest of the house. So I wanted this space to be really welcoming. And one of the things I did, because it was a lot of white walls, was I added this wallpaper from Anthropology. And I love it and texture to it, but the black and white I feel isn't too loud. Also, this antique mirror, I got this from my favorite antique store that's about 40 minutes away from where I live. And I just think it just brings in kind of like that old, mixing the old with the new feel. So definitely love that. And got this console for a nice landing space. And this console is actually from Target. So I really like to be able to pull in items from all types of sources. It's affordable and it just meets all of our storage needs. I really like to be able to bring in things that are investment pieces. I think that's really important, but also there are some pieces that you can bring in that really fit the space and is super attainable. You can go down, to your local store and pick it up. So I'm definitely all about the high-low mix. I don't know where I got this from, okay? So I have this really interesting, I have this brass bowl here and these really chunky beads that, you know what? I actually got this from Home Goods. So I just thought it was be a really fun element to bring into the entry, just to add some texture and add some heaviness to the console here. The other really interesting thing that I added was the picture molding. I added that maybe about 2 years ago myself to be able to hang pictures. And this is an engineer print of my son. You actually just take a picture and then go to your local Staples and ask for an engineer print, and it costs like $5. And it's a really large piece of photo for a really inexpensive price. And so I have my son there, and then I have my daughter here. And we also added this really fun hook for our leash for Tucci, and I grabbed this off of Etsy.
Before we see more of this home, be sure to visit homeworthy.com/shop to discover amazing furniture, art, and accessories handpicked by our editors to help transform your house into a home. All of the items are inspired by the episodes you see here on this channel.
And this is my powder bathroom. It was the first space that got a full makeover. And I think powder rooms are a really fun space to start with because they're small and you can just have a lot of fun with it and you can close the door. So I started off with this really cool crane wallpaper that has my favorite colors in it, of the blue and the blushes and the whites. I started with painting the vanity, this really beautiful blue color, and painting the vanity top white, and added this wooden mirror that I'd had for years and updated the lighting. So I really think the wallpaper just truly pops. And there's another really cool feature, and I have these faux antlers that I again picked up from my favorite antique store, that I think just adds some whimsy to the space. The way that I have gone about designing my home is being able to bring in materials that can withstand 2 children and a dog. So for example, my sofa has performance velvet fabric. So it absolutely withstands the dog, the kids, all of us being able to sit down and watch TV and all the activity that happens in the living room. The dining room chairs are metal so that if Tucci decides he has an urge to bite, he won't damage my chairs. So it's really about being really thoughtful about the materials and being able to withstand just the wear and tear of just everyday life. We are a busy, busy family. While I work full time and my kids are in school and they have activities, we are just in and out of the house, ripping and running. So being able to have those materials that can really withstand all of that activity has been really crucial in maintaining the beauty of my home. All right, so next, follow me into the living room. And I really, really adore this space. This is the hub of our home. The way that I wanted to be able to bring in some architectural interest into the home is by adding the picture molding on the walls. So I recently did that. And picking up again where I like the old mixed with the new, I got this bubble chandelier installed, which is very modern, but also lends to that like clean aesthetic. And the old features are things like this mirror that I also got from my favorite antique store for $40, right? And as well as this dresser here, which was a Craigslist find from like over a decade ago for $75. I've always said if my house was burning down, I would try to carry this console out with me because I love it so much. It was going to go everywhere. The other favorite part of this space is the sofa. I knew when I moved in here that I wanted a blue velvet sofa. And so I invested in this sofa. It is fantastic. We love laying on it. And it provides just so much space for my family and for friends when they come over. And we also have the coffee table here, which I actually don't remember where I got this from, but Tucci has left his mark. But it's all good. We're home. We live here. But I absolutely bought into the disco ball trend, which I feel like it's never going to go away. So I have a fun disco ball here and then some of my favorite design books on top of the coffee table. And of course, some fresh flowers. I think plants in a home is so important. So you will see a variety of plants that I have here. This is the lovable fiddle leaf that you will see in a lot of people's homes, but I have actually had Sasha, that's her name. I've had Sasha for about 2 years, and she is, I keep her healthy by actually using a meter so that I know when she needs water. So that's the best way for me to make sure that my plants are healthy and that they're thriving and that they will continue to live as long as they possibly can. So you'll definitely see plants and flowers sprinkled throughout the home. I just think it adds just life to a space. And another favorite element to the living room is this Serena and Lily rattan swing chair. When I was looking for my home, funny story, I saw the home online and I was pulling pictures off the internet and I actually photoshopped this chair in this living room and ended up getting it 2 years later after I moved in the home. So this is kind of like a dream come true for me to have this chair here. And it's also hands down like one of the favorite spaces that I have in this home. You will find me propping my feet up after work and sipping a drink or a glass of wine and watching TV. Like, it's just so relaxing. My kids love it. Everyone who comes in really likes the hanging chair. And I just think it adds another kind of interesting mix to the living room with all the other elements that are here. We are a shoes-free home, and so I love to be able to, I'm a sucker for really cute slippers. So these are actually from Target, and they're my favorite. So this is what you will find me wearing around my home. So when I originally moved into the house, most of the house was kept up really well. But there were a couple of spaces that needed quite a lot of work. And one of the spaces was the kitchen. And the kitchen was very brown and dark and filled with tile. The other space was the basement, which had like peel and stick tiles on the floor and had stone veneer going up the walls. So one of the first spaces that I tackled when I moved in was the kitchen. And I really wanted to brighten up the space and be able to have light reflect throughout the kitchen. And I was able to do that with just the power of paint. Paint and willpower. I was able to come in and I painted the kitchen cabinets green, painted the floor, removed the brown backsplash, and also painted the countertops and updated the lighting. So it really made the space feel more welcoming, open, lighter, airier, and I'm just so happy that I made the decision to go for it and not wait until, I was at a point where I could do a full gut renovation. It was just really easy for me just to, with the power of paint, take some imagination and make those updates so that it's a kitchen that me and my kids are happy in. And here we are in my dining room, which is probably the most eclectic part of my home. I got this table from West Elm, and then these metal wishbone chairs are actually from Walmart. I'm all about the high-low mix. And the one really cool part about this room is that I wanted to be able to share art of Black portraiture. And so all of this art comes from various sources and artists, and I really love that mix. And I also bring in things from my travels. So this art was actually from my trip when I went to Barbados. It is a painting of a local artist there. So I really love this, came home and framed it immediately. Another piece is this mask here that I got when I went to Mexico. So I wanted to be able to, again, just show just the things that I pick up when I travel and mix it in with all the other elements. There is definitely a particular style of art I like, and that is of Black portraits. And so you will see this entire wall just kind of depicts just various Black people and, just portraits or living the daily life. This portrait was from an artist that I found on Instagram, and I actually have two pieces of her work. This came from a local artist that lives in Baltimore from Etsy, and this was really cool. This is actually a download from, I believe it's like the National Archives. You can download tons of free art, and so I downloaded this young man playing a banjo. The other, element here in my dining room is this credenza, which is actually from IKEA, and I pieced two cabinets together so that I can store all the things. And then the other kind of things that make up this space is this coral reef. Again, I got this from my local antique shop. I just thought it was like a really cool piece to have to display. Beyonce. She's a work of art. I could not have her not be included in the wall of art. So Beyonce, I have her records. I actually do play her record. I selfishly have copies of the HGTV magazine where I had a 6-page spread. So when people come over, I can do a little bit of humble bragging. So I do have a few copies here of that. And I have this really cool sculpture here. It's a home shop owned by a Black woman called Effortless Companion, and she sells like home decor goods and all that stuff. So I got this really cool face sculpture that I really like, and I have a bowl for my sage. Sometimes you just feel like you need a cleansing of your home space, and I have some sage here for that. And the other piece of art I have on here is, again, a really beautiful painting of this woman that I also found this artist on Instagram. So I just think it's really beautiful. And again, I just want to be able to highlight in my home, especially my culture, and be able to share that with all my guests and family and friends that walk into the space. The other thing that I would love to point out is the tassel chandelier here. I had picked out another light for this space, and then I was online and saw this chandelier and immediately canceled the first order for the light and got this one. And it was actually kind of like my first big purchase for this house, and I still love it. I still love it to this day. Another really cool element in here is this artwork, this young boy blowing this bubble gum. I actually made this frame, so I just went to Home Depot and picked up a piece of acrylic and got these standoff screws. And this was also I think was the first DIY in my home that I made this frame for this artwork. So really love the space and have this really fun rug that has like this snake motif here that I think just really adds kind of like an interesting, just an interesting dimension to the space. And so this is just really eclectic. It's just a mix of just a lot of things that I like. And I just hope it all works together, but it looks like it does. So I'm happy. I've never been able to firmly land on a particular style that I liked, but the way I can describe how I want my spaces to feel is open, light, airy, with pops of color that doesn't make too much of a loud statement, mixing in old with new items, and also just being able to have a home that feels lived in and cozy. So I really like to be able to look at pieces that speak to the past, but then also have modern touches to it. So I know that's a lot, but it really is a sense of just kind of being able to bring in a whole lot of different styles, from traditional, bohemian to eclectic, and just making it feel cozy and light and airy. So now let's move in to the kitchen. This space saw the biggest transformation. Before, when I moved in, The lights were off center. The cabinets were brown. It had a brown tile backsplash, really dark granite countertops, and like a brown floor. It was very dark. It felt very dated. And I wanted to be able to really lighten it up without breaking the bank. So I was able to come in and I painted the cabinets. This really beautiful green color, and got new knobs from, I believe the knobs are from Pottery Barn Kids, which interesting, right? Also came in and painted this faux marble on the countertops with this faux marble countertop painting kit. So, and it's been holding up pretty well. And so I did that for the entire space and added some Roman shades. And then brought in these really cute pendants. I got this from a local maker on Etsy to bring it I wanted to make sure like that I wanted the pendants, but I wanted it to feel airy and not feel too heavy. And so I really love this with the ribbed glass shade here. The floors were originally like this brown, like 1x1 tile, which, well, you still see the tile. And it was so dark and dated. So I saw this checkerboard pattern and I figured that I could copy that here with paint. So I purchased some floor paint kit and taped off the checkerboard pattern and painted it the two colors with this beige and white. And so I really love it. My floor is showing some wear and tear, but I like that. I think it shows a home that's lived in and that, has a really active family. And I really love it. So I think this is just a really good way just to update the space without breaking the bank until later on down the line if I choose to do a renovation of the kitchen. My kitchen is admittedly really clean right now. It does not always look like this. I tucked away the air fryer. We definitely use it. But I wanted to make sure like I had just a really clean, beautiful space for you guys to really see the beauty of the kitchen and just the power of what you can do with just a couple of dollars and some elbow grease. So what I love most about my home is the layout. It's the one thing that attracted me immediately when I walked in. It is open, but it also is, the rooms are very distinct and it actually moves in the flow of like an oval, which my dog Tucci loves because it's a racetrack to him. So now we're headed to my bedroom. And I am so excited that I did not wait until my entire house was finished before getting this space set up for me. So let's go. And here we are in my bedroom, my sanctuary. And I really wanted this space to feel like a boutique hotel. So when I thought about designing this space, I had just come back from a trip where I was in this really fancy hotel. And I walked into my room and I was like, I want my room to feel like that hotel. So what I did in here was I painted the ceilings this really beautiful pink color and brought in this glow pendant lighting. And you guys know when you walk into a hotel room, one of the features that they always have are these floor to ceiling drapes. And so I wanted to bring that in across the entire back wall here. And so I actually got these curtain panels from IKEA and also the shears. And it just, again, just kind of brings in this like boutique feel for me. And I just love the way it looks and the way it feels because this truly is my sanctuary. If you go outside into the hallway, that is teenage land and we don't want to go there. So this space really just feels so serene and calm. Then I have this upholstered bed and the nightstands are from World Market. And then I just have just pieces of art that I really like. This is from Lindsay Letters. that I really like this abstract piece. And also, again, just, with additional artwork I have is this really cool lion piece, and just, again, some more abstract art is just what I gravitate to. And the other element that I wanted to bring in, again, to feel like a hotel, were these faux marble hooks that I got from Urban Outfitters. And of course, you always have to have a full-length mirror to check yourself before you walk out of the house every day. So it just really feels just so calm to me, and I really love it. We did not talk about this lovely rug that I have in here. This rug is actually from Laloy, and again, it has, it's cream, but also has like this pop of blue that I really thought would just bring some interest and some texture into the space. There is a definite common element to my home, and that is just mixing high-end pieces with lower cost items that still can give the same effect of having like a really sophisticated space. And I know sometimes that we may see spaces and it feels unattainable, but there are so many options and ways that we can go about being able to buy items that still give that feel of being elevated, and it doesn't break the bank. So if you are renting a space, if you are in a space that's temporary, there are so many things or items that you can source that can still give that feeling of being high end and quality, and does not bust your wallet. So I really encourage you, if you are looking to decorate your space and you may be feeling a little bit discouraged that you won't be able to have the kind of space that you dream about, you absolutely can. It's just about being intentional with your purchases, being able to look at that higher end piece that you really like, and then finding a dupe at a lower price point. I have pieces in here that are of a higher, price point, but I've also mixed it in with things that, you can go to your local big box store and pull from. The other tip that I would also offer is not paying so close attention to trends. Trends will have you churning your money a lot faster. So if you really look for pieces that's going to last a longer amount of time, definitely invest in those, or look for dupes for pieces like that, so that you're not churning over items, or you're not feeling like you're not keeping up with the design times of the day. Home means to me a safe place. It is a refuge from the outside. When I walk into the doors of my home, it is an immediate stress reliever. When you are outside in the world battling traffic, work, co-workers, all the other stuff, that home is a place that you can come and feel calm and peace. And so I definitely wanted to make sure that the design of my home reflects that. My spaces impact me mentally. So I wanted to make sure that my home and the spaces in it will always be a place of just calm and peace and serenity.
Thanks for watching. For more Homeworthy content, be sure to like and subscribe.